How's everyone doing? It's Halloween time, and I absolutely love Halloween. It brings me back to my childhood memories of trick-or-treating, haunted houses, costume parties, and of course, scary movies. And I absolutely love scary movies, and especially horror movies in general, but what better time to watch scary movies than around Halloween? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about what movie scared me the most, and I want to know what movie scared you the most as well. Leave me a comment down below. Now, the runner-up for the movie that scared me the most was The Exorcist, and I expect this movie is going to be on a lot of people's list, and for good reason. I saw this movie for the first time when I was a little kid, and it completely freaked me out for a long time after that. And that spider walk scene definitely creeped me out. That's just so unnatural. Who does that? The Exorcist is an all-time classic, and it definitely scared the heck out of me when I was younger. Now, the number one movie that scared me the most isn't your typical horror movie that you would expect. It's Fire in the Sky, which is an alien abduction movie, and I saw it for the first time when I was 14, and it freaked me out. I wasn't able to watch it again up until just a couple of years ago. It was the first time I was actually brave enough to watch it again. That movie just haunted me for a long time. It's a movie that I will never forget. And Fire in the Sky stars D.B. Sweeney, James Garner, Craig Sheffer, Robert Patrick, Peter Berg. Just a fantastic cast and an incredibly atmospheric and creepy movie. Some of the scenes that really stand out for me in Fire in the Sky were the scenes where D.B. Sweeney's on the alien ship and he's being dragged through the ship and then thrown on the operating table and operated on. And then when you see the aliens, just incredibly creepy. So Fire in the Sky was the number one movie that scared me the most. Now let's hear from some of my friends and see what movies scared them the most.
Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 here, taking part of the Absolute Sublime collaboration right now, talking about some movies that scared me and why for the Halloween season right here. You guys could be like, what the hell? But that is the original Jurassic Park movie. Because when I first saw this movie, I saw it in theaters with my father when I was in elementary school. And, you know, he picked me up early the day that the movie came out. I went to go see it, which I wasn't old enough to see it at the time. I believe it was, what, PG-13, and I was just like 8 or 9 or something at the time. And I felt like the coolest kid in the school, you know what I mean? Going to see Jurassic Park in theaters. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be dope! But then watching it for the first time, actually seeing dinosaurs on screen was kind of like, it was really cool and invigorating, but then there were scenes in it that freaked me out as a kid, like seeing the Tyrannosaurus Rex escaping and then eating that poor dude off the toilet and shit, and some other, of course, scary scenes with the raptors and everything like that. Just imagine watching this movie as a young kid.
The movie that scared me the most would have to be Jaws. I saw it the summer after 6th grade, and I have not been in the water since. And I can honestly say I think it's twofold, the reason that it scared me so much. Number one is the monster is real. It's a shark. Sharks are real, they live in the ocean, and sometimes they even eat people. And the other thing is the cinematography, especially the underwater shots where you see the point of view of the shark coming up underneath the swimmers. That has forever been imprinted on my mind, and for that reason, I cannot be in any kind of water where I can't see underneath me. So there we go, guys. It is Jaws for the win.
Hi, if I had to choose my scariest horror movie, I would have to say The Exorcist. There's a lot of disturbing scenes in that movie that are stuck in my head. And there's a lot of horror movies out there in general, but if I had to go with one, I would say The Exorcist.
Mine would be Willard. Anything with rats totally freak me out and totally creep me out. I'm totally terrified of rats. So that movie really creeped me out and just made my skin crawl. So that's the one I would pick.
Happy Spooktober, everybody. I watched What Lies Beneath when I was 10 years old because Indiana Jones was my hero and Harrison Ford was in the movie. It was my first real scary movie. Seeing Harrison Ford like that messed me up, and I was afraid of the bathtub for 2 weeks after. It's not the scariest movie ever, but it was my first, and I'm gonna remember that thing forever.
YouTube, what is up? It is your boy Mac G, and the movie that scared me the most has to be The Descent. The Descent was so scary to me. That movie came out, I want to say I was maybe in high school or early college when it came out. But that movie was terrifying. If you haven't seen it, it's about a group of women that go in a cave and they're exploring caves. And while they're there, there's monsters that are knocking them off one by one. But doing what they did without the monsters would scare the crap out of me. Just searching caves without monsters would freak me out. So throwing monsters in the mix, done. freaked me out.
The film that scared me the most was The Ring. This was the first time I've seen anything like a demon face. So the moment when they open up the closet and you see like the girl with the twisted face turn around, I've been scared shitless of these movies ever since.
The scariest movie I've ever seen was House on Haunted Hill. Just the way the cameras are tweaking back and forth, and you get these victims just like wrapped in like tight spots, just like underwater. And ever since then, I've been freaked out about insane asylums. I just can never go to one.
I hope you don't.
Yeah.
Scariest movie for me is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I really have a hard time watching based on true story possession ones, and watching that movie and then waking up at 3 a.m. and being like, man, is my clock gonna turn to 3:01? Because I really hope it does. That scared the hell out of me.
The movie that scared me most has to be Candyman. Clive Barker is an absolute genius. Tony Todd is unbeatable as Candyman. Between the bees and the very scary real-world setting of the Project Cabrini Green, absolutely terrifying. The Philip Glass score gets to me every single time I press play. Not to mention I saw it in my dad's old school 70s kind of shaggin' wagon van with mirrored ceilings at the drive-in, looking up after seeing that movie, trying not to say Candyman. Utterly terrifying.
I picked The Conjuring. This movie is the only movie that has scared me out of all the horror films that I've seen over many, many years. And that is because I believe in ghosts and have had encounters with ghosts. So this felt very real, and the fact that it's based off of real people and real events really made it just that much more frightful for me.
The movie that scared me the most was The Babadook. The reason why it scared me the most is because it felt super real. Watching this and imagining the situation that this woman is in and what's happening to her and what's surrounding her, I just felt like this is reality in some way, and for some people this is what life is, and that scared me a lot.
The movie that has scared me the most is The Exorcist. And in general, anything that involves
demonic possession
scares the crap out of me. And secondly, the amazing special effects makeup job that Dick Smith did.
Hi guys, Spooky Astronauts here. The movie that scared me the most has to be hands down Martyrs. Terrifying. Terrifying is the moment when that woman who's got like that plate, that metal plate on her, and she's just, her blood is just ripping down and she's crawling along the bathroom floor or whatever the hell it is. Oh my god, I can't even live. That is so terrifying and has kept me up so many nights, and I'm actually really scared because I'm home alone right now.
Hey guys, the movie that scared me the most is the original 1976 Carrie. Why? Because her crazy abusive mother. Also, the prom scene when she's getting her revenge done scared me so much. I was a teenager then, and after that I was like, I'm done. I'm not gonna watch any more scary movies. And I also learned one thing: don't bully anyone.
The Exorcist, definitely the scariest movie of all time. I watched it when I was 8 years old. It impacted my childhood greatly, terrified me, and I think just, you know, the reason it's the scariest movie of all time is because of, like, the idea of exorcism is so terrifying, and this movie just does it perfectly, and yeah, Reagan still haunts my nightmares today.
So for my scariest horror film, I'm going to have to go with the underrated The Mothman Prophecies. It's a very creepy, atmospheric film. It has Richard Gere, Laura Linney, and Deborah Messing. Richard Gere's wife in the film, something happens to her involving the Mothman, you know, creepy red eyes. And, you know, he gets involved in all these, like, premonitions and stuff that's going on, tries to figure out what's happening. And I'll always remember those scenes where, you know, Richard Gere punches the door, and you see, you know, in the mirror when the Mothman's looking at him. And then as well as when Richard Gere's on the phone, and he's like, you know, what do I have in my hand? And you hear the Mothman on the other side. Chapstick. Done.
The movie that really scared me the most, mostly as a child, was definitely Pet Sematary. I mean, Zelda, do I need to say any more? But now that I'm an adult, the movie has actually become one of my favorite horror movies, so it didn't scare me for too long.
The movie that scared me the most was definitely The Exorcist. I remember when I was a little kid, I tried to watch it and I couldn't even finish it. It scared me so bad I couldn't even watch the entire movie, and it took me years before I was able to watch the entire film. You know, it's a true classic, and I still think it is hailed as the scariest movie of all time.
Hey guys, I'm Dan from Reject Films, and the movie that scared me the most when I was a kid was the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Just the fact that you're not safe even when you sleep, and someone can come into your dreams and kill you in real life is just terrifying.
There are 3 films that absolutely terrified me. The first one is Oculus. The whole thing is terrifying, but that mirror and that ending, chilling. Orphan is absolutely fantastic as well. The character of Esther is just so crazy. I love her. And then The Visit is the third one, which is about two children who go to stay with their grandparents and all kinds of mental things start happening. Three of those, back to back, would be both my dream and my worst nightmare.
The horror movie that scared me most was probably Child's Play, because I watched it with a friend when I was like maybe 9 years old, and I was a total wuss as a kid. I don't know why I watched it with her, but it scared the hell out of me, and I was completely ruined for any kind of dolls for like a year.
The movie that scared me most as a kid was The Exorcist, because I watched it when I was 8. And I was just like, what the hell am I watching? This isn't Ninja Turtles. And it was that one scene, and it's only for a brief second, where it flashes that face right quick when she's first getting possessed. I was awake for a week. I'm not lying. 8 years old, I didn't sleep for a week. It's that scary. One flash, ruined.
Those were some great scary movie choices, and I want to say thank you to everybody who was a part of this. You all rock. Definitely go check out their channels. I'll put the links down below in order of appearance. Check them out and subscribe. And let me know what movie scared you the most as well. Leave me a comment down below. Hope everyone's doing well, and have a happy Halloween, and go watch some scary movies.